Alright, so the first issue of DCKO just came out, and it's kind of shaping up to be an absolute mess. I mean, like, getting past the whole, like, them being weird about, the Trinity's biological children versus their adopted children. The whole, we're gonna kind of do a crisis, but we're also not gonna do a crisis, because there's a whole lot of stuff going on. To the actual battle itself, which, actually, let me get started here. Because, okay, so like everyone predicted, Batman gets taken out first round. I'm okay with that, because personally, I don't like Batman. However, it's only to introduce the villains to the competition. And, like, the power scaling of this stuff would drive even, like, someone who does not care about power scaling insane. Or maybe I'm just a little bit biased because they took out Jaime first round. Anyway, they fight, we get down to our last 32. And from what we know about the solicits from issue 2, the Joker wins the first round and is going to then face Jason Todd. Which I feel like a Star Sapphire should be able to defeat the Joker. Like, what are we doing here, DC? The actual important stuff that's coming out of this event is A, they're bringing in 3 new challengers, which just so happens to be Superman, Batman, and Wonder Woman from the Absolute Universe. Finally kind of tying this event and the Absolute Universe in together, which is what we were told at the beginning of All In. And Booster Gold working for Darkseid for some reason. It seems like he's under the same, like, mind possession control thing that Max is. Also very different, because while Max is kind of willingly working with them for power, Booster doesn't care for stuff like that. Unless they're going to go off and mischaracterize him again and make him, like, very into this for the whole fame aspect and not... For some reason, DC just likes ignoring the Volume 2 happened. Like, I kind of understand what DC is trying to do with this event. They want to do a tournament arc, and you could see that by the fact that they have a voting event right now. But at the same time, they're trying to make it this big deal to try and bring in readers when, like, honestly, I would have just liked people fighting each other. I feel like just heroes fighting in a fair event would be kind of interesting. But no, we have to tie into the Absolute Universe. We have to do a crisis, but not a crisis, because we can't call it that anymore, because we did Final Crisis. And I think that's where it's going to start losing people. If they even had these people to begin with, I know for me personally, I'm only buying the AEW variants just because I like AEW and they have a Tony Storm and Power Girl cover. But I am going to be interested to see where this whole thing ends, because it might end up kind of weird again.